Hi everybody, and a huge welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Susan and I'm an artist, author and host of this YouTube channel, and also the Inspire Sketching membership, where I get to share all my crazy sketching ideas with my beautiful members and we sketch together every month. But today what I wanted to do was talk to you a little bit about sketching in very small blocks of time. I want to share with you how we can carve out tiny moments in our sketchbooks for a little bit of regular sketching. Now, I love sketching in tiny sketchbooks. In fact, I have a huge stack of little sketchbooks here that I have used over the years. This is just a small selection of them, and these are complete. These are full sketchbooks. And I find that when I work in really tiny little blocks of time, I can fit in sketching and creativity even on the busiest of days. So therefore, if you feel that you never have time to sketch properly, then this video is especially for you. Okay, so first of all, let me just show you some of the sorts of things that I would do in my sketchbooks. And these are tiny little squares filled with doodles and drawings and things that I would do in just a couple of minutes at a time. And one of the reasons I want to share this with you is because working in small amounts of time, and I'm literally talking a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, lowers the bar for perfection. And as a recovering perfectionist myself, and somebody that always would like to do things right and have a great sketch at the end, I know this is what goes through my brain. Sketching in just a few minutes lowers that bar for perfection. In just a few minutes, you can't achieve perfection. You can't achieve a great detailed painting, a work of art, a Instagram-worthy sketch that's used all the colours and perfect tone and all the fancy things. When you use just a few minutes, you are what we call lowering the bar. And this is also part of a really interesting way of building up a habit. If you can do something in just 2 minutes a day, that feels very easy. Like if I just went to the gym, like say if I wanted to go to the gym and start a gym practice, get running again, going for just 2 minutes a day would feel a little bit easy, a little bit, I probably could do more than this, but I'm lowering that bar. I'm just saying to myself 2 minutes. And I find that sketching is a habit like anything else, and it's a habit that I well and truly have built into my daily schedule. And many of my students and friends and family will say, well, how do you do so much sketching all the time? And there's this image or this picture in our minds of somebody on their desk, in their table with all the materials laid out, music playing, candles going. This image of sketching, painting, drawing for hours on end. I probably only sit down in my studio to do sketching and drawing for an hour or more, maybe once a week. But these things come out daily, multiple times daily, when I'm in my car, when I'm sat at the breakfast table, when I am at a cafe. This comes out and I sketch for 5 minutes. And this happens even when I'm out with other people. It's very doable, it's very easy, and it just lowers that bar for perfection. Now, sketching for just a few minutes at a time in a small sketchbook also builds consistency. And this is another really important thing in habit building. If there's anything that you want to do and achieve, it needs to be a habit built into your day. Doing a little bit regularly builds that consistency, and just opening up, and maybe let's say you've drawn some little squares in your sketchbook like this, and you can see here I've only filled in a few of them. I haven't done all of them. If I just each day fill out one of these little squares, that's very doable, and I build up that consistency in my sketching habit, rather than just saving it all up and every Sunday afternoon spending 4 hours doing loads of sketching. Actually, a little bit regularly means that I'm constantly tapping into that creative side of my brain and using my creativity on a regular basis. And I think I've already touched on this already, but these 5-minute rituals of opening your sketchbook just feel achievable. I mean, how easy is it to go, yeah, I'll do 2 minutes? An hour with loads of stuff doesn't feel quite as achievable. That's hard to fit into your day, but we can all manage 2 to 5 minutes. We can all fit it into our day. Just taking a moment to stop scrolling, to maybe not wipe that kitchen side, not do the laundry for a few minutes. Just do a couple of minutes of sketching is very, very achievable. Okay, so I've talked briefly about why 5-minute rituals work, why little tiny pockets of time to sketch in a sketchbook every day on a regular basis work. But what I want to do is now give you some actual practical examples. I'm a very practical person. I like to have actual tips, things I can put into place to be able to understand something. So I'm going to give you 4 different examples of 5-minute rituals that you can use in those pockets of time in your day, those tiny moments. So first of all, number 1 is to create a bunch of little squares in your sketchbook and just do some little abstract doodles. And don't do the whole page in one sitting. Set up a page of squares, and then for each time you come to your sketchbook, just do one of these little squares. And it doesn't have to be abstract doodles. It could be absolutely any pattern that you want. Think about patterns, textures. Make it simple, make it approachable. Maybe prepare 2 to 3 pages at one go. They don't have to be neat squares. You can just draw them by hand or divide the page up into sections. And for each 2 to 5 minute block, just do a doodle and give that a try, fit it into your day. Now, for example number 2, what I suggest you do is to create a very small thumbnail sketch of something on your desk. So when you grab your sketchbook and you come to your kitchen table, your sketching desk, the table in your spare room, wherever it is that you're sketching, this could be out and about as well. So grab your sketchbook and just do a 5-minute sketch of one object on your table in front of you. And that's it. Now, another really fun thing to do is when you make your hot drink for the day, so this could be a cup of tea in the morning, it could be a morning coffee, afternoon tea, it could be a lovely hot chocolate. When you set the kettle to boil, grab your sketchbook and sketch something that you see around you. So this could be within your kitchen space. It could even be that you draw the kettle every time. It could be that you sketch your cup that you're going to pour your drink into using a technique such as the continuous line technique or a blind contour drawing, something quick. See what you can draw and doodle whilst that kettle boils. Now for my 4th suggestion, and probably one of my most favourites, that's trying out materials. Set yourself a timer for 5 minutes, grab some materials and just test them out on your sketchbook page. I'm just going to show you here a sketchbook that I have that is completely dedicated to colour studies, little swatches of colour in various different paints. Some of these are acrylic, some of these are gouache, some of these are watercolour. And all I suggest that you do is you grab some paints, you grab a paintbrush and a palette, and just start mixing some colours and pop these little colour swatches on a page. And this is the kind of thing that you can do within 5 minutes. Just try your materials out. And I've done this with watercolour paints when I'm out in a cafe. I've done this at home. I do this when I buy new materials, which I do quite a lot. Just try out the colours, play, see what happens. And this is something that you can do in just a 5-minute little block of time, a perfect little ritual. Now don't forget that these tiny moments, these pockets of time with you and your sketchbook are little rituals that I would think are like a breath of fresh air. They're a chance for you to relax, unwind, connect with your creativity, and just a moment for you to pause and slow down. I find that sketching in small bursts regularly really helps my own mental wellness. I always say that it makes mummy a little bit less grumpy if I'm grabbing my sketchbook and doing sketching on a regular basis. So remember this when you are trying to begin this as a habit of doing little bits of sketching in little pockets of time. Now, over the last few weeks and over the next few weeks, I have been exploring different ways to capture tiny moments in a sketchbook. I've been playing with lots of different tutorials and exercises myself personally, and ways that I can explore this deeper in my sketchbook. So over the coming weeks, I am going to be sharing some of these with you on this YouTube channel. And I hope that you find this really useful and helpful as you explore sketchbooks yourself. So if you enjoyed these little practices, maybe if you gave them a try, I'd like to know how you get on. So Do feel free to comment below this video with what your own 5 minutes rituals look like. If you've tried any of these suggestions that I've made today, how did you get on with little 5-minute practices? I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget, stay tuned on this YouTube channel as I explore this concept of sketching in tiny moments, little pockets of time over the next few weeks. I'll see you soon.